Hi, my name is Lizen, and in today's episode of Whose Life we're going to be talking about my hometowns in the Isle of Man and Barcelona, Spain. So the Isle of Man is an island in the Irish Sea, in between England, Ireland and Scotland, right in the middle. Like, we have our own parliament on the island. It's actually like the oldest parliament that's still working today, but the Queen is still in charge of us. It's an offshore crown dependency. Technically the Isle of Man is not part of the EU, but we're affected by everything. It's 32 miles long and 14 miles wide. You know, it's really small compared to America, I guess. The population is around 85,000 people, so growing up, I mean, I felt like I knew when I would go downtown, like I felt like I would see, basically everyone you see, through at least one person. So it's a really small, tightly knit community, but it was a really great place to grow up. So I grew up in Douglas, which is the capital city. It's the biggest town, I guess, on the island, but you can't really, Well, I mean, when you think of capital cities, you think of like Washington, D.C., London, but it's honestly, you can't really compare it to that. It's very small. We have a very nice beach. It really is one of the most beautiful places that I can imagine. It's so green, hilly, and the air is really clean, and there's just a really amazing views. Growing up there was really cool. I have an older sister who's 8 years older than me, so we never actually went to the same school. There's only like 4 or 5 schools, but she was always like graduating as soon as I got in. But it was nice because since everything's so close by, she was able to give me rides to school before class and things like that. And I'd see a lot of my parents just because work was 5 minutes away, so they'd be able to like come home in between, which was great. And I actually grew up playing so every single sport that was offered on the island. I mean, I started off playing football, soccer, not American football, and then tennis, cricket, badminton, squash, basically everything that I could. I lived on the Isle of Man up until I was 13. We get a ton of rain, and there's only one indoor court on the whole island, so I grew up playing as much as I could, but honestly very little because once I started taking it more seriously, I was competing against people like in Europe and in Britain, and they were able to play a lot more than I was just because there was more courts available. And so, I mean, I used to just practice in my garage, because it was the only place with a roof, and I couldn't get on the indoor court. And when I was 13, I had the opportunity to go to Barcelona and attend a tennis academy, which was basically, a full-time tennis academy where I'd practice, 4 to 5 hours a day and go to school 5 hours a day. And that was something that I dreamed of, just being able to practice like more hours a day and have the opportunity to get better and be able to compete, at an international level was something that I really looked forward to. And I thought it was a huge opportunity, and I'm really thankful to my family to kind of, for supporting me in that decision. In Barcelona, the weather is great most of the year. I think actually like November to February is surprisingly cold. I think a lot of people don't know that. But the rest of the year is amazing. You can do, my coaches back there argued that Barcelona was the best city in the world, and honestly, it's up there because you have amazing beaches, really good weather. The city center, like Plaza Catalonia area, is amazing. It's such a hot tourist destination. It was an amazing place for me to grow up because I learned a new language. I learned Spanish, and then I also learned a lot of Catalan because they're going through a whole independence thing right now, which was really interesting because a lot of my coaches were devout Catalans, and they refused to speak Spanish to me, so I just had to learn Catalan because they didn't speak English. Thank you for watching Whose Life. Muchas gracias por ver Whose Life. Moltes gracias per veure Whose Life. Wahoo wah, go Who's.